Hey everybody, I'm Psychroclasm, and we're finally going to finish up I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. It's been... I played this on September 27th, and I only got through the first day of 3, so hopefully 2 hours, and I can knock this out. However, with visual novels, I have to voice everybody, so my voice tends to get thrashed. So we'll see if I can make it through in one recording session. So the last time we were here, we met our classmate with gigantic thighs named AESHLEIGH, and her JoJo lookalike boyfriend, but not. He's super in the friend zone. His name is Van. We also have a friend, I forget her name, and she's gonna be dating a kitchen appliance whose name I forget. And then we killed a guy, and nobody knows what that guy's name is, and then we fought a mashed potato monster. Wait. Oh man, it saved before the potato monster fight? Damn! Alright, hang on, let me get through this. Oh god, I forgot that I'm Billy. Yep, there's Van. Yep, got a hair. He does things. There's a potato monster. Necronomicon, whatever. Attack, defend, or whatever. Yep. Terra starts here. Does magic. Summons the power of chicken. Spare him. Yep. I think we did all this. Okay, there we go. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? You lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, thinking about the secret you discovered while tasting Colonel Sanders' cooking yesterday. You can't believe he really used... And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Clank. Okay, Clank was the kitchen appliance. Like him? Like? I know, it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. I like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school? I'm sure. No, but that does make complete sense. Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to, and he was also the... And was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade? I'm thinking something maybe got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? However, you don't tell her that you know a second ingredient too, which you discovered on your own. Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden while I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices. Secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super-duper rare dried flower petals. And if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with him, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch, you know, like pen pals. I bet he'd love to know more about new spices. Whoa, what is that face you're making? I was too busy reading. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, 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 it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you, or from Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? Oh my god, this is gonna be another one of those things where they prevent me from trying to take over Colonel Sanders' chicken empire. I guess I gotta make up a fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know, how about... It was Eye of Newt. I know it sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt, wow! Her eyes light up imagining such a thing, and you figure you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. We're making great strides. We are lying to our best friend to satisfy the needs of a guy we just barely met, who clearly thinks the world of himself. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. I guess I'll just stand back and admire his majestic glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse stance before dismounting with a flourish. He then slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside. You're so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize... Oh, sorry, I forgot about his voice. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beauty you have. I mean, what a horseful beauty. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam stops to cover for you. Oh, Billy just gets really nervous around people they like. What? That is not helping. I mean, they got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. And by the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad? You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Ugh. Act like you're not interested, but try and get a closer look. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like a magic spell. However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try and cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class, and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the Emperor of Cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. It doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. Hey, that's the same book I found last night in the quad. AESHLEIGH immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't been studying the book. They've just got... What? They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing! Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Wah wah. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least, or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny, tiny legs are very, very tired. I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. You try and give Sprinkles a pat on the head, but he snarls at you. Sorry, I get a little worked up if people try and pet me before I've had my morning coffee. Let that be a lesson to you. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, Billy? Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? Okay. A glass of water and a dog biscuit makes it seem like it's his lunch. So I'm going to take his pepper. A brightly colored pepper stands out from the other items. It sparkles in a most eye-catching way, so naturally you reach out, grab it, and eat it right away. However, your body's not prepared for the heat. Oh no. The peppers have triggered an intense spice hallucination. Feels like forever as you trip through the universe. Ghost of student. My friend. Ooh. This guy again? I'm here to give you an important message. Ooh. You must avenge my death and fulfill your destiny. All you must do is... I was saying to fulfill your destiny. All you must do is... Sorry. I think I've still got some spice stuck in my throat. It's fine. I'll work through to fulfill the prophecy. You must. You feel yourself begin to regain consciousness. Oh, man. You come to and find everyone staring at you. That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth, and now it's gone forever. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. Well, we all make mistakes, and I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Bring it. Bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, so be it. I'm not the fool, you're the fool! Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption, Billy. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkles steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is the lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer! Just then a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, timer ready. That's what I'm talking about! I stand corrected. The hard way builds... What? The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now's my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day 1, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? 100 C. That's right, but how would you have even gotten into this school without knowing that? When I get to rub my furry belly! Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're gonna need to season the chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices did he say he used? 11. That's right, you might not know all of the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. I can't add that. I can't voice that one. Now that you got some basic food steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Gratitude. That's right, you must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but AESHLEIGH! Simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy, so where does it come from? Small town where big dreams are born. That's right, this is your shot and you're not gonna miss it. You try and shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sound of success? Sizzling. That's wrong! Don't make me get the spray bottle. Okay. You notice Colonel Sanders at the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Billy. He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy would it take to fill a traditional... Fuck! They were all about Colonel Sanders anyway. Urgh. You're stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk! I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. Oh, God. What does that have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicately baked biscuits? Woof, woof. You're really struggling to keep up. Next station over, AESHLEIGH has already been guiding the elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes! Zzz. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Billy does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by doing the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand in the mixture to rescue your dough before it's overmixed, and then your hand is gone. Billy, no! But you're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Alright! Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much more difficult. Everyone stop what... Oh, sorry. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. This battle's over. It can't be. You're so close to finishing. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad, and here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Billy's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Billy to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette, atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places a sauce-covered finger into his lips, AESHLEIGH leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mushmash. Internalize the rage you feel, or put yourself between them. I'll internalize my rage. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester. Perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you turn to the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now, Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and the small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. Okay, I'll never be a master chef. Well, failure's a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I'd never failed at anything before? Well, that's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, and motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way, but I walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. What the fuck? I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and well-kept beard and assume I've got it all together, which is true, but it hadn't always been. Sound like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving it the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle-scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the spork monster! Are you shitting me? What the hell was Pop doing? Borko? It is I! I know I said I wouldn't be back after the whole fight to the death thing. Maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there aren't any hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of the night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever. But I was still a student until one day some mean kids with a magic spell book cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spell book? Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. Sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Billy, together I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. I love the little baby picture with the beard in the background. And also, somehow, the picture of him older and having already formed his chicken restaurants in the background. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Well, every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, and never stop imagining. You ever been working on new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy, crispy, both, maybe? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation or keep it a secret just for you? Let's reveal it. You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent! Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. No, they don't! You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? So they really are just, like, pictures of him and they're not going to acknowledge it. Okay. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure he must be Colonel Sanders himself. That or maybe the drumstick seems like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, right? This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. Oh no. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Canned chicken be prepared sashimi style? Tap on an item. You take a closer look at the large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? A piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of '69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's a lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Please don't steal it. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silver in color, it's actually made of spun silver. Alright. You gaze out the window across the vast lake into the mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of Student pops up. Are you thinking about heading into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I've never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost of Student is swept out with the breeze. You know, it's a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. Little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Okay, I think that's everything. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off the hanger and try it on. The jacket's a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try to act casual, until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. Well, I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. Fess up and tell the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. Well, I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take the jacket off and run for the door, but the thought of leaving the Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Billy? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. Well, I think you're right. I think we should take things slow. And by that I mean we have to finish our romance by the end of tomorrow, because that is the end of the semester and therefore the game. You talk till late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Oh, it's the same one as last night. You wake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Goddamn! That was quick. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today's the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, it isn't even legal, but the recipe is secret. How will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. It's a simple breakfast I've just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. With the right business partner, I know I can't fail. You'll make it all my side dishes for me. All I know is how to make chicken and biscuits. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something happened to you. Oh, it's okay. But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Well, since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. And I said, yeah, sure, I think I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving is that's a typical first date to go on while talking to a pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell you the whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night. You what? Nothing happened? But the emotional connection, wowzers. I love how this is a text box for me. Miriam offers to support me no matter what I do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not have figured that out. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. Oh, you can get your swirly dip, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school? There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You got some nerve, Billy, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Okay, look, now you're twisting my words, and I'm not gonna have that. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever! Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are getting close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Billy has that hand feeling. I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon, as the story demands. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Well, technically I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What's he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Billy, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel? Well, I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. I'll see you inside, Billy. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see AESHLEIGH for who you know she really is, you walk in through the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with AESHLEIGH, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages like a dumbass. Whoa, that's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It appeared to be some kind of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire, like a book of spells? I don't know, who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it wasn't really powerful? Well, I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it's drastic, but Desperate times call for desperate measures. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you. A pretty good excuse to try it out. Don't do it! You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Wait to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! How dare you! I told you never to come back here! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. Squirrel looks over but doesn't really say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt not only by Terrence, but any other squirrel in the hearing distance, he returns to his professorial tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Billy, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Again, why is this a text box for me? Sprinkles is interrupted by words and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you, save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank seem to be arguing, but you haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan. J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Well, yeah, that doesn't make a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried snicker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay? Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend they didn't see anything. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. The test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, you okay? Okay? I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa's a delicious treasure, so you know that the most is... Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. Even if the source of her frustration is just a silly boy. I know you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. I forgot about that discussion about her tiny bangs. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe. Sorta. But I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. It's not Pop or Clank or anyone you meet today, tomorrow, this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for the day. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and his eviler counterpart, AESHLEIGH! As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on. Billy's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes as second nature to you and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session's interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Billy, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, I'm just taking it all in. I'm beginning to visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Pot pie's begun to bake and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but the decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Confess the practice dish. Why would we lie about stupid shit? I don't understand. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. Oh, I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was pot pie just from the smell? Well, not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. Ew. All butter? My nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Ha! No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably stop burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I ever tasted. I didn't offer him any. I always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus pot pie you've been practicing are the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and AESHLEIGH are practicing wildly elaborate dishes as per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spicings, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe fried chicken. The intensity in this room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone's calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend baster blaster! Van flexes his pecs and chops down on a sea open. Sea open. Sea open is what I'm keep saying. Sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. That's so bad. AESHLEIGH scoops up her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice that AESHLEIGH has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way, and also I hopefully have a spork monster coming to aid me. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Billy! That wasn't so subtle. Miriam notices too. Oh, I've always believed in you, Billy, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. Don't love him, love me! You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but... Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the secret ingredient was made up, and where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. I thought he was Borko. Steve, wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh hey, you're in the middle of cooking competition. I love this stuff, and it's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kinda in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you've gotten the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Well, yeah, you got it. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country, you can feel the spork monster winding up to tell a really long and involved story, and you don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably pretty lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really do need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I'd fallen asleep during scare tactic class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Summon extra power from deep within yourself, as all anime protagonists should. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My first taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Billy, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry! My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power, you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were there powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and cannot be served. But don't worry, dear Billy. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you've earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say that I'm truly impressed. You're thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you managed to do is make mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it. But, Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What'll happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass the individual efforts. Are you suggesting? If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clank. From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside of the closet, you see Pop, hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down there from right now. Get down from there right now. Let me guess. Did Van Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my leg. Can I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks! Pranks! Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there is none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days. But after days of hard work, time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in a savory soup. Oh my god, it's so little. My word, it's so delicate. Is that teeny tiny Narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+, rarely do I taste a dish with this much love poured into it as yours. Miriam's overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Billy, for helping me believe in myself. Van Van, you're up. Now, describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. Isn't this the thing he made the first day that got everybody sick? Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close enough on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Yes, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this! It keeps poking my tongue! Disqualified! A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected Van Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount simplicity. This is the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure a swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, my dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student! AESHLEIGH! It's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, Billy? I told you it's a display piece. AESHLEIGH, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I want to be judged on eating, I go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage takes over AESHLEIGH, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, AESHLEIGH storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me, either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. 2 chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing and completely blow me away. I'm 49 dog years of life, and I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, you pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everybody gets a pass! Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van Van and AESHLEIGH are drawn back in by its magnificent fragrance. Whenever they gaze up on your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There are supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! You knew that Sprinkles was the master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new Hello, AESHLEIGH! Van Van and AESHLEIGH tell everyone that they committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Amusing. And now that everyone's together, it's the Spork Monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, the spork monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone's too wrapped up in talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop! He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh. Now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of Chancellor of such and such. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who's arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank and not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew that this whole time. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. I mean, no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. That's a fucking lesson right there. I just spit everywhere. My mouth is so wet. I've been talking for like a very long time. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear that she's managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Well, howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not just enough to give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chickening, man, by not reminding other people to go out and buy my chicken. No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Billy, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I've somebody whose chicken empire I could usurp. Well, I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Well, off the top of my head, I don't know, spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? Just to name a few. Well, it truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready for taking a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Billy. Well, how sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I need to do just by myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I don't know why, but I sight read. So I saw the next line and somehow I turned entrepreneur into centaur, and I'm like, that's really clever. He's going to be a business centaur because half of him is going to be one thing and half of him is going to be the other. No, it's just entrepreneur. I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear Billy, I'm sure you'll find your place eventually. Along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end! Is it really the end? Oh, it really is the end. How many endings does this shit have? Okay, there is another ending, but it's just Colonel Sanders deciding that he loves you more than having restaurants, which seems weird. You can go find that one yourself. The game is still free. I am done with it. Okay, I forgot that visual novels can be sped up, so I just decided to go through it anyway. I guess... I don't know where I'm gonna put the footage of me going through all the choices so you can see it. Not much changes, honestly. You just have to be really obsessed with Colonel Sanders from the very beginning. And this is the same. 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 Okay, skippity, 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 skip. There we go. Okay, there we go. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. I should probably turn off my fan here. Hang on. Okay, this is where it changes. I forgot. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Buddhas? I forgot I changed my name. I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team-up purely an act of strategy carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you, and you feel a surge of energy jump off the tips of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth, fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour, soaked in buttermilk and dusted with exotic spices. They do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? You gasp. Could it be? Is he really saying? Me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say? Partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. The for real end? Wow, that was a life-changing 3 days. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened between you and Colonel Sanders, you step outside to get some air. The quad is dark and quiet. Too quiet. You start to smell something salty, potato-y, gravy-y. Just then, Spork Monster appears. Hi, Buddhas! You had some pretty sweet dance moves back there. Why, thank you. You weren't too shabby yourself. That moonwalk you did was pretty cool. Oh, you noticed? I'm so embarrassed. Anyways, I had something to ask you. You see, life as a potato-like creature is difficult, and I have no place to call home other than people's nightmares. Oh, I had no idea. I was wondering if I might be able to go home with you, permanently. I'll run out and get the paper in the morning and everything. What do you say? Yes, adopt him. And make him our weird potato-y dog. My hero, I'll forever be in your debt. Seriously, this is the end this time. Okay. And that was the good ending of I Love You, Colonel Sanders. It took me like 10 minutes if I knew what to do. I used a guide. This was not all me. Okay. So now we're done with I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Like I said, the game is still free and you should go play through it. Not a lot changed, but if you're doing the perfect route, you do get kicked in the face by a horse, and you just have to ignore it and compliment his horse. It's really fucking weird. Anyway, until the next video, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around. Bye.